So Emma's got a stopwatch here, and we're going to have you tell the story to your recollection or knowledge of Hanukkah in 1 minute. And you say go, she'll hit start, and then she'll let you know when your time is up.
Ready, set, go.
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Whenever you're ready.
I feel both prepared and stressed. Let's do it. Go.
Okay, go.
Go.
Let's go.
I want to preface this bit with I was able to get pulled out of Hebrew school because I cried my mom calling and saying, like, everyone's breath stinks. I don't want to be here. Everyone smells.
Oh my God.
And I just didn't have to go back. So, yeah, too much gefilte fish. Just, I mean, it's just a bit. You could say like it was just like a Jew thing, but I think it was just these gross kids.
Well, kids are gross, so yeah. Eccentric.
Okay, go.
Okay, so the story of Hanukkah is that these Jews were living under this Greek ruler, basically.
So there were these Jews in Jerusalem, in Israel.
Jews were holed down in Kristallnacht, and they only had enough bullets to kill 8 Nazis.
The Syrian Greeks felt threatened by other cultures, finding their own culture superior, and they especially did not like the Jews.
The story of Hanukkah begins actually in Venice, as most Shakespearean stories do. And it's a tragic tale because really Hanukkah was supposed to be a birthday celebration.
So a while ago, very long time ago, there were some Jews and they were in some trouble, I tell you what.
So it was somewhere in the Middle East, all of it. I don't know. It's, hot in the desert. And I don't know if this is before or after Moses parted the sea or anything like that. I don't know where in this 40 years of wandering we were.
So Judah Maccabee and the Maccabees are in Greek Assyria. King Antiochus has decided that Jews are no longer welcome, so they go to war.
And he was like, okay with them being Jewish, but then his son came into power and he was like, yo, like, fuck that. You guys got to kind of worship the Greek gods.
They had to run away from some bad dudes and dudettes.
And they were excited to get together, and then there was a war.
They sat in waiting, and they were taking like mortar shells from all sides, but the Nazis and Hitler was personally there, screaming out orders like, kill those Jews.
But there was a period of time in which the Jews, golly gee, somebody was persecuting them. What? Since when? It's crazy. Who persecutes the Jews? We make all the media. Why you get what? We're don't have Netflix, guys.
So they forbid studying the Torah, and the Jews fled to the caves, and they studied the Torah there. And whenever guards came by to see what was going on, they switched to playing dreidel and pretended we're not doing anything suspicious.
You see, one child in Venice was much beloved by the locals because she would oftentimes give them bread, flowers, various forms of food, all kosher, of course. They didn't know what it meant, but she knew.
The Maccabees recede to the hills and they lead a rebellion to try to, for their life against King Antiochus, who has destroyed the first temple. I believe first temple. We'll see. I'm going to go with it.
And so then the Jews became basically in their eyes, they were freedom fighters, but in the eyes of the state, they were guerrilla warfare terrorists. Okay.
And their menorah was,
and then they were in this building and they waited out. And then once a day, they would shoot a Nazi. And that's why we light a candle.
They got holed up in this safe house. And, just to lay low, chill out for a bit before they could get a new job, new place to stay.
So they waged this guerrilla warfare for a number of years against these Greeks.
People were still discontented. So a group called the Maccabees rallied troops and armies together, and they decided to fight the Syrian Greeks, who, by the way, had totally destroyed the temple. Very important, very bad.
Everybody loved her. They decided they were going to hold this great birthday party.
But anyway, so somebody was trying to go after the Jews. And we had enough oil for like a night. And that's it.
They eventually basically won their freedom, but in the process of the war, their temple had been destroyed.
They fought, it was very unexpected, but they won the war.
The Maccabees find just enough oil in the ruins of the temple for one night.
Their temple had candles and they were all lit.
And then there's something else about oil that we conserve for 8 days, but I like the version that the Quentin Tarantino version more.
However, on the day that the birthday party was to be held, they had a big lift they were going to make for her, this big balloon of her, and it ran over 12 people.
And we were like, oh no, what are we going to do?
However, the miracle of Hanukkah, this source of oil has lasted for 8 nights.
And they're like, oh, fuck, man, we're fucking, we need to see what the fuck we're doing. We can't fuck, we can't shit. There's no light. I'm fucking in the dark here. Yeah.
And they had people get into the temple.
And then afterwards, they went and they stole all the change out of the Nazis' pockets and then started a bank.
Then they went to restore the temple. They didn't find enough oil to light the holy lamp.
So we just hoped and we kept burning the oil, and it was supposed to last a night, but then it went on for 8 nights.
So they get to the temple, and as far as I understand, it's just like, okay, like we just need some oil. I actually don't think that the oil was super important because the war was already over. They're just like, we just need to like party.
But they cut 3 of the people out of the newspaper because they weren't important enough to celebrate Hannah's birthday. And that's the story of Hanukkah.
And then I guess we made it out because we had enough oil.
But not enough oil. Just for one day, burned 8 days miraculously, and it was excellent. So many miracles of Hanukkah, war and fire, and I guess that's a wrap.
And then they found a couple sticks, and then they found 8, and they're like, there's no way this shit's gonna last, but fuck it, let's just jack off till we kill ourselves.
But the lights stayed lit for 8 days, and
they were like, well, we only have enough oil for 1 day, but it ended up lasting 8 days, and that's kind of what they hung on to was the miracle.
and then they were able to jack off for 8 days, 8 nights. Stop.
And so to this day, we celebrate the miracle through the Festival of Lights.
that's why it's called the Festival of Lights and why we light 8 candles.
The end. And now we celebrate it by giving practical gifts like socks and vegetable peelers.
Time.
Wow.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
Wow.
That was great.
Perfect.
Nailed it. Time.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Incredible.
That was great.
It's such a beautiful oral history our people have.
I think you may have misread the assignment, but I will accept it. Time. Very good. See, I told you. I had a very good feeling about it because he was confident.
I'm glad he finally, someone finally told the story that hasn't been told.
Yeah, no one's mentioned the sticks so far. Everything else we've covered, but
Yes, just an awesome rendition of the Hanukkah story.